Exciting time of year, football just wrapping up along with volleyball and getting set for an exciting basketball season. It was a busy weekend of Hardrocker athletics this past weekend. Thanks to Polly's for sponsoring our luncheon today. Thanks for coming out. I want to start off with a volleyball recap with head coach Doug Tabbert. Welcome up, Coach Tabbert.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for coming out. I kind of like to evaluate this season with the notion that all's well that ends well. And so I invite all of you to do the same thing this year with us. So Thursday night, our last match of the year against BH, and it was a pretty good night for us. It's always nice when you can end the season on a win and send your seniors out with a win. Beat your rival, sweep them in 3, that's even better. Extend their losing streak, finish with more wins on the season than they do. And we did all that Thursday night, so it was a pretty good night for us and a good environment. So great crowd, so any of you that were there, we appreciate you being there and the support. It was a really good environment, and appreciate the support really all year long that we've gotten. Anytime you're in a rivalry match, you're always a little worried how your kids are gonna handle it. Are you gonna be motivated and kind of pumped up, but still stay focused and handle the situation well? Or are you gonna be too amped up and distracted and kind of uptight and not play very well? And fortunately, we handled the situation pretty well. I thought our players dealt with it with the rivalry match and then the last match of the season, all that pretty well. And we played a pretty good match. First 2 sets we handled pretty well, got off to a good start, and just played pretty good volleyball and held on at the end. Third set, we were down 18-22 at the end, and it was a little dicey at that point. Kylie Miller goes back, our senior libero, and we go on a 4-point run with her. She gets 2 service aces during that run. So now we're back at 22 all and feel a little better. And then she serves the ball that was out by 15 feet or something, and it's good grief. But we held on, kind of traded points with a little bit, ended up getting a lead, and they made a hitting error to end it, so it ended well. And so again, got a sweep against our rival, and that's always good. So one of our better performances in a while. Offensively, best we've played in a while. Hit 180, which isn't great, but better than what we've been doing. We had contributions from a number of people. Michaela Reese was phenomenal. 16 kills, 2 errors on 38 swings, which is 368. That's really good for an outside hitter. Averaged over 5 kills a set. That's really good regardless of the position. Played a really good offensive match. But Jenna Cruiser had some good kills for us. Kayla Hendricks played one of her better matches in a while on the right. We got 10 kills from Anna Bright. So pretty good balanced contributions offensively. Defensively, we played really well. We had 4 kids in double-digit digs. We had 3 kids that averaged 5 or more digs a set, that's crazy. I've never seen that before. That's libero type numbers. I've never seen 3 players average 5 digs or more in a set in a match. That's just amazing. So that was good. We served the pass better than they did. That was one of our advantages we thought coming in, and we took care of that pretty well. So just a good match, and our kids played well, and I was really proud of them. Again, Michaela Reese, that's just a ridiculous match. Hits 368, over 5 kills a set, and 5 digs a set. And that's just unheard of to do all that in one match. And, just that's a good performance on her part. I really thought she'd be recognized by the RMAC this week, player of the week kind of stuff. But they recognized an offensive player of the week and a defensive player of the week and a setter of the week. And it just so happened that the middle from Adams State hit 432 this weekend against Fort Lewis and had almost 5 kills a set and 8 blocks. So, pretty good numbers too. So, but really nice job by Michaela. Just a quick recap of the season. Our win-loss percentage wasn't great. Certainly we'd like to have done better, but it was a pretty good journey. Players were really enjoyable to work with and be around, and they handled themselves really well throughout the season. High energy, just good emotional state most of the time, and a lot of fun, quite frankly. Maybe a little bit too much once in a while, but it's an interesting group, and it was an enjoyable ride, and despite the fact that we would have liked to win a few more matches. A few highlights: Kylie Miller was the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week the first week of the season. Elizabeth Jensen is our freshman setter, ended up 4th in the conference in assists, which is pretty good because offensively we struggled a lot of times. So that's pretty amazing that she ended up that high in the RMAC. Kylie Miller was 8th in the conference in digs. And we had some people that made some contributions, and we got to work more toward next year, and we'll get better, and just part of the process. But again, appreciate all the support we got this year from everyone, and it was an enjoyable journey for the most part, other than the wins and losses part. A little recruiting update. We're finishing up the early signing period. Tomorrow is the last day of that. We signed probably a right side last week. Her name's Hannah Stevenson, kid out of Arizona, about a 5'11", one of those really long arm, long legs. She's all arms and legs and not much else. I think she's got a pretty good upside. So she's a nice addition for us. And we've got a setter that I can't name her because she doesn't sign until tomorrow technically, but was here this Thursday night for the match, visited on Friday. About a 5'11" kid out of Nebraska, setter who's going to sign with us tomorrow, and those are two nice pickups for us. And we've still got a couple offers out. We're kind of waiting for a couple other kids to make some decisions, but that's kind of where we are recruiting-wise going forward. So appreciate everybody's support this year, and look forward to next year being better and climbing up in the RMAC. But I appreciate you supporting our kids like you did, so thank you. Questions? Any questions? Sorry. Yeah.
Congrats on your season, coach, and first night was a blast to watch.
Thank you. It was fun. I mean, it was other than the third set being a little bit dicey, it was a fun thing to be a part of. I felt better once it was over, but it was a fun match and great environment, and it was really enjoyable. Friday was a good day, so thanks for that. So again, thank you.
I'd like to congratulate Hardrocker football program. They won on Saturday over William Jewell 35-14, went 6-5 in the 2015 season. That's the third winning season at the school lines in the last 27 years. That's the second winning season in the last 3 years for head coach Stacy Collins. Welcome up, Coach Collins.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks everybody for coming out. Talk a little bit about the William Jewell game. Didn't exactly start out the way we had it scripted there. And you get up an 85-yard touchdown early, but great credit to our kids that kept plugging through. It was a great home victory. Enabled the opportunity to go 6-5 here. And William Jewell's a talented football team. They've got some great skilled players, and we will see them week 1 next year. So you'll get 2 back-to-back shots with William Jewell. But Brad, you got some highlights from the game? We had a couple big-time turnovers in the red zone that our defensive got. This first one's by John Tyler, and John Tyler had a great game for us. He had 2 fumble recoveries, had an interception, was the GNAC Defensive Player of the Week this week. And any time that you can get, teams get into the red zone and struggle to score, I think we had 3 or 4 turnovers we got in the red zone. Those are big-time plays. So great job by John. He's a senior for us and going to be greatly missed. He's a unique personality, that's for sure, and a tremendous athlete. Another interception here by Josh Thomas. I think Josh Thomas ended up being second in the GNAC in pass breakups, so that's interceptions and passes batted down. But a great job by Josh tracking the ball and then taking it out of the end zone, which I wasn't real fired up about at the time until he got it past that 20. But good job with some ball skills out here, and we tried to match Josh up on their best outside receiver all day, and I thought he did a really nice job with it. And both John Tyler and Josh Thomas were 4-year starters for us, came here as part of our first recruiting class. Offensively, had a couple really big plays early. They really loaded the box on us and challenged us to throw the football. And here Danny Ziegler gets free. And I tell you what, Danny Ziegler, he missed our first 4 games with injury and really wasn't healthy all year long. So it's going to be great to get Danny healthy and back because he's got great playmaking abilities, you can see right here. He was pretty much held together with duct tape and a little bit of glue at the end of this thing. More braces and tape than he weighed. Here's another big-time play by Kevin Mills, and Kevin Mills, came in the season and has got great speed. And Kevin had some injury issues too. We missed our first 4 games, played the first one, and then missed the next 4. But Kevin's got that breakaway speed. So once we get these guys healthy, really, really excited about where we're at, the slot receiver position, their playmaking ability, and the group of receivers we're going to have coming back. And how about the weather? 60 degrees in the middle of November. It's always sunny and 60 at Dunham Fields, what I tell our players. Down here on this was a really, really crucial score, I thought, right before half. Ben Broker would just get his big body in a one-on-one situation out there, and Ben's 6'5", about 235, 240 pounds. So it's certainly a matchup issue, and excited to again to see this receiving core continue to come together as we head into next season. But to be able to get this score right before half, we got the ball back in the third quarter and score again. I thought that was really where we stretched the gap and put the game away. So exciting end of the season. Certainly great to get that 6th win. Certainly nice to win at home in the last game. We had our banquet on Sunday. Our players voted on Year of the End awards. Our Year of the End award winners, our offensive back of the year was Devin Nixon, our freshman tailback from Georgia. And again, for a true freshman to come in, play 11 games, and I don't know if he hit the 1,000-yard mark or not, but he was pretty close to it if he did on that, Brad. Did he get there? No, just short. So a heck of an effort, though, for true freshmen. Our offensive lineman of the year was Sam Cowan, and certainly Sam is going to be one of the best offensive linemen to ever go through this program. Just a tremendous person, both on and off the field. Sam was also our initial strength award winner that Coach Miguez gave out this year, and Coach is going to name the award after Sam Cowan. So it'll be the Sam Cowan Hardrocker Strength Award here in the future as we hand that award out. Our defensive back of the year was Josh Thomas. Our defensive lineman of the year was David Jackport. David had a great junior year. He was 3rd in the GNAC in sacks, led the GNAC in tackles for loss, and 9th in the GNAC in tackles. And that's pretty impressive for a defensive end. And then our rockers of the year, guys that exemplify what this program's about and our core values, were 2 seniors for us, Kyle Hudson and Christian Chavez. So great group of guys, very, very deserving of those awards. And like I told those guys in the banquet, it's always unique. This is our 4th year here as a staff, and a good chunk of those seniors were guys we recruited that first season for them to walk through and set a great foundation here, both on and off the field. A tremendous group of seniors that are leaving us. Any questions that I can answer for you about the William Jewell game, about the season, or anything upcoming?
Not a question, a comment. All the coaches came up after the game up to the tailgating area. Extremely respectful, good group of guys, and I think it just speaks to you, Coach, and what you're building here. So really appreciate that.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, but our assistant coaches don't get enough credit. Those guys work their tails off, 80 to 100 hours a week, and they're the ones who spend the most time with these young men. They do a great job. All right, thanks again for coming out.
They only ask you questions when you lose, Coach. I don't know what the story is there. I really don't. Basketball preview, that's what we're here for, essentially. A big weekend, this past weekend to kick off the year. And looking forward to the season. The Hardrocker women starting 2-0. Welcome up Head Coach Ryan Larsen to talk about the team.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. A lot to talk about today, so I'm not going to mix words about being up here too long. I got a lot to get through. So those of you with your timers on me right now, just put them away. All right? I'm going to talk. I got 13 wonderful players we're going to talk about. There it is, Joel. Thanks for that. 13 wonderful players, 4 recruits to talk about, and a couple games as well. Our players, first of all, I want to talk about our staff as well. Coach Paul has been here now for the last 3 years, started with me here. The saying is, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and, Ketty, she just gets better and better and better every single year. The term rising star, I don't really care for, but she certainly is one of those, there's no doubt about it. The things that we evaluate ourselves on as a staff after the end of the year, I've asked her to improve on, and she improves on it, but that just takes it to another level. She's a huge part of what we got going on here. Sherry Grismer, she's our volunteer assistant. Grizzy's been with us for the last 2 years now. She coaches our posts, and I kind of refer to Grizzy as our O-line coach, because playing down there in the post and coaching those posts, you know, it's real technical, you know, kind of like Coach Ackerman. And there is a lot of, you know, footwork and just the physical play, and you know, that just exemplifies her personality. You know, she is really, really good with those young ladies and doing a tremendous job. If you've seen our post play lately, obviously Devin and Megan and you know, Stacy, you know, they've started off the year very well, and you know, she's doing great things with our young kids as well. And then Coach Miguez, you know, he's working with all our teams right now, but he's done a phenomenal job for us. Our kids are getting stronger and faster. You obviously see that over a longer period of time, but just the way they bought into strength and conditioning now, it's at a new level, and that's probably the biggest compliment I can give to Brett. You know, a small example would be, you know, one day this fall, Callie Peterson and Peyton Humble come running up to me in the hallway. Coach, we need protein. I said, yeah, you need protein to live. Yeah, obviously it's important for you. She said, no, the football team, the men's basketball team, they're getting all this protein and we need it too. And, all right, well, let's buy some protein then. You know, so just that stuff. You know, they bought into rest and recovery so much, all because of Coach Miguez, and he's added a different level for us, competitive-wise. So. Great addition for us right there. Moving on to the team, Brad, have we got this lined up here? Emily Vandergrift, she's a freshman from Lake Stevens, Washington. Last year when we signed her, I said, well, watch out for this young lady, she'll probably be our best athlete. Well, it's not probably, she is. You know, she's all 6 feet tall, and our fastest player by far, and jumps the best. You know, obviously, like all freshmen, and especially post players, she's got a lot of work to do on just balancing. You know, in high school, post players, they can really score any way they want, right? Now you go up against bigger, stronger kids, you got to find a way to score. And Emily's come a long ways there. You know, I was talking to Joel this morning about our kids a little bit, and we brought up Emily, and I said, you know, she's like a 5-minute baby deer out there, just her wobbly legs and stuff like that. Once she gets on balance and gets a little stronger, she's going to see up the floor a lot more for us. But very happy with her progress right now. Callie Peterson, we know her very well. Played a ton for us last year as a freshman. Put in a ton of work this summer, and you can see it on the floor right now. It's nice we're not playing her at the point guard nearly as much this year, just because we got Krista back. And it's able to free her up and score more for us, and just kind of use her tenacity. Well, I think she's getting about 4 or 5 offensive rebounds a game and converting them. Boy, the way she played this weekend, you know, we kind of challenged her last week before we started playing, and she didn't really need it, but I just kind of wanted to rub the salt in the wound a little bit for her, get her going a little bit more, and she really turned out for us Friday and Saturday. Taylor Molstead, I dropped a hint a couple weeks ago to you guys to go watch out for number 4. We got a really good player here as a freshman, and for those of you that came and watched us again Friday and Saturday, you know, you wouldn't know that she's a freshman because she fits right in. You know, it's really, really rare when you have a freshman that, you know, from a coaching standpoint, I can trust 100% defensively and offensively on the floor, and that's exactly what we do. You know, we have totally cut her loose. Sometimes as freshmen, you kind of hold them a little bit, just because they're not prepared or ready to play. But she is more than ready to play right now, and it's going to be a really good player for us, and they're expecting big things in the future. And she just played a fantastic game Friday and Saturday for us. Mackenzie Becker, redshirt sophomore for us. Mackenzie kind of had a tough go at her, you know, redshirt freshman year. She had a heart murmur over the summer, which really held her back when she got back to school. And once she got healthy from that, she had a stress fracture in her foot and couldn't finish the year. But you know, just another kid. I keep saying, you know, I really like our freshmen. They're good players. But our biggest compliment I can pay to our team is our returning players have all gotten better. And Mackenzie has certainly done that. She put a lot of hard work in. It just helps that she's healthy. And you know, probably the biggest thing from last year's team to this year's team is we have depth in the guards, the guard position, and and they're able to score. You know, when you have weapons on the perimeter, and Kenzie is definitely one of those for us right now, it really helps the basketball team, and she had a great weekend for us as well. Megan Shoemaker, freshman post player from Humboldt, Texas, you know, kid with an extremely big time motor, another good athlete. You know, just like our other freshman posts, you know, they need time. They need a few more birthdays before you can really see what they're going to do. But she'll be a good one for us once she gets you know, stronger and on balance and learns a few more post moves. Krista Showalter, great to have this one back. You know, she blew her ACL, I think the second week of practice last year, and you know, had to sit out the year, obviously. And you know, I just talked about depth in the guard position, and you know, it's so nice to have 2 point guards this year rather than 1.5. That makes a world of difference in what you can do with your rotations and how you can play. You know, Krista really worked hard on her rehab this summer. She came back in phenomenal shape. She didn't really play a whole lot of basketball. She was just focused on getting healthy. She is playing really well for us right now. We'd like her to score a little bit more, but she has the capability to score. But really this past weekend, she didn't have to score a whole lot. She was making great assists and running the show, and that's probably what she's the best at. She's a really good floor leader for us, getting our kids in the right spots and just getting us organized and running our offense. Heather Rogers is a junior college player from Pima Junior College in Arizona. We are her third school, and in 3 years she went to 2 junior colleges before us. She's an electrical engineer major. Heather's got a tremendous skill set to her. You know, she's probably our best passer. I'm not probably, I know she's our best passer. And I fully, we were really trying to get her more minutes right now, but you know, like I mentioned earlier, third school in 3 years, she's kind of lost in what we're doing offensively and defensively, but it's certainly coming. You know, she'll make 1 or 2 passes of practice where Coach Paul and I will look at each other, kind of raise our eyebrows and go, wow, she's the only kid that can make that play. But once we get her comfortable, she's going to be able to, and she's a really good scorer as well. Once we get her comfortable in what we're doing offensively and defensively, she'll be out there a lot more for us. Alexis Long, I could waste 10, not waste, but I could talk a half hour with this young lady and just what she means for our program. You know, she had to sit out the fall with a bad back, and she started practicing the week before we played at Utah State. And you know, I asked her, Lexi, you want to try and get out there? She goes, no, Coach, I'm playing. Okay, well, where do you go? She went out there and played, and I think she had 2 practices under her belt, and did a great job for us there. Excuse me. But where she's come and the limited amount of practice that she's had this year it's really, really remarkable. She's by far our best defender. When she's on the floor, we are 10 times the defensive team than what we are with any other 5 out there. And it's just heart and guts with her. And with the basketball in her hands, she's a really good playmaker. But you know, she's just a joy to coach, and I'm glad she's healthy for the year. Peyton Humple, everybody's pretty familiar with her as well. Played a lot of minutes for us last year. Had a great game, 2 games this weekend. Shot the ball really well. 2 things that she didn't do at all last year. You guys saw Friday and Saturday. One, she got to the free throw line. She shot 6 free throws on the year last year, or was it 8? Doesn't really 8. Okay, it doesn't really matter when you play 26 games. That's not nearly enough. And she shot free throws, and she also got to the rim. You know, last year she was just kind of a catch and shoot type kid, but with her athleticism, she's capable of a lot more. And she worked hard at it. And to her credit, she got to the rim a couple of times, and she got to the free throw line. And that's only going to make obviously her better as a player, but us better as a team. Devin, again, Joel and I were talking this morning, and this kid is just playing with a ton of confidence right now. You know, she is out there to every post move she makes right now. There's some purpose behind it. And if you guys saw her play this weekend, you could tell that as well. You know, Devin's just, her mindset right now is she's going to have the most fun she can have in her senior year, and she's certainly doing that right now. She is playing at a very, very high level for us right now, and I'm excited to watch her play the rest of the year. Megan Rohr, much like Alexis Long, well, she didn't play at our Utah State game. She hadn't practiced. She got in 9 practices before this weekend, and really you wouldn't tell. I could tell a little bit. The game speed wasn't quite there for her. The physicality she wasn't quite ready for. But she was still Megan Rohr, and scored a bunch of points for us. Made a few threes, got to the free throw line, rebounded well. Her Megan too has really improved this year. Again, just like the rest of our kids, really excited to watch her play in the RMAC. Marissa Herkett, the potential of this young lady, it's really, it's sky high. She is so long and deceivingly athletic. She's going to be a really good player for us. You might have saw her shoot a 3 Saturday. She did shoot one, I believe, but she's an outstanding shooter, which I love. I love our post players shooting threes. She knocks them down in practice all the time, but she's got really good skills in the block too. She's got a wonderful right-hand hook, left-hand hook. Just like Emily, she's kind of got those bandy legs right now, but once she gets stronger and learns to play on balance, I tell you what, she's going to be a really good player for us. I'm excited for her future. Stacy Hull, you saw glimpses of Stacy last year. I believe she scored 15 points in our Chadron State game here, and basically won that game for us. Now you're going to see it night in and night out, because she's going to be our first post off the bench and playing a lot of minutes. Averaging double figures, reached the double figures both games this weekend, and just a talented player. She's one of the smartest kids at basketball savvy-wise that we have on our team, and just when she's in the game on offense, our offense is better, just because she knows how to play, she knows how to score, she knows the right pass every time, and like the rest of our posts can really shoot it. Tom Mann said it best. Stacy Hull is sneaky good, and you won't just see it this weekend, you'll see it all year. The young ladies we have coming in next year, really fired up about this group. First and foremost, we signed 4 of them, which is very important. The last 2 years we've had 13 on our roster, and that's just not enough. I'm tired of practicing with 13. Last year we had a guys practice squad. This year we brought back Mackenzie Kenny and found another young lady to help us out in practice. They're doing a phenomenal job for us, but we need depth and we need more competition at some spots. And these 4 obviously do that for us. Anna Haugen comes from Fort Collins, Poudre High School. She's a 5'11" guard, kind of a do-it-all kid. We fully expect her to play on the perimeter, but we can play her at the 4 as well. She can shoot it, she can go to the rim. Probably the best defensive player out of all those 4. She's the kid, you'll watch a game and, oh, that's a good player, but then you look at the score, the box score afterwards, and she'll have 15 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, something like that. She is just a stat-stuffing kid and does everything very, very well. Cooper Courtney is from the Kansas City area, 5'7", just a tremendous shooter. She's not just a catch-and-shoot kid. First time we evaluated her this summer, first 2 shots she hits were catch and shoot. Then she comes off a ball screen and snipes down a 3. And then she comes off a stagger screen and hits a 3. And she hits a step back 3. And by that time, my mind was made up. And we had been recruiting her before, but my mind was made up that we were going to offer her a scholarship. She is just a big-time weapon. Anytime you can have a guard on the floor where you have to guard to 25 feet and you have to chase off screens, and every defender on the court knows where she's at, that you have to guard, it's a big-time weapon. She holds the high school or school record in her high schools for 7 threes and 8 in a game. Is already the leading scorer at her high school. Is the career leader in 3-pointers made at her high school. Just going into her senior year. So very, very happy about this young lady as well. Molly McCabe is from Mountain Vista High School in the Highlands Ranch area. I like our post to shoot. She's a phenomenal post player, but I also really like athletic posts. And I talked about Emily Vandergrift as being our best athlete. Well, I don't want to put too high expectations on Molly right now, but she's a better athlete than Emily is. Running up and down, she's as fast as they come. And her high school coach lets her guard 1 through 5, either the point guard, their best scoring guard, or either post. You know, that just speaks the volumes of how athletic she is, and you know, she scores in the block as well. So very excited about Molly, and just another post player for us that can step out and shoot and guard multiple positions. Sammy Stefik is another young lady, comes from Fort Collins. She is a true point guard, 5'11" point guard, really long, tremendous playmaker. I'm not sure how many assists she averaged for her high school team, but you know, just real basketball savvy, can make every pass, but yet can score at the same time. And you know, losing Lexi this year, you know, that was probably our biggest need to fill. Was that point guard spot, and we got a really good one here. We beat a lot of schools on her, so it was a nice feather in our cap. But I'm very fired up about this group coming in right now. They make us better, and we filled some needs, and probably the biggest thing that we got some added depth there. So that's our squad for this year, and obviously the kids coming in. Briefly about last weekend, very happy with the way we played. Friday, we challenged the kids a little bit after Friday's game that we need to get better at the things that we didn't do so well, and we did that Saturday. You know, we guarded better on Saturday, we ran better motion offense, you know, we just got out and ran faster. And that's probably the biggest thing that we're different right now. If you would have seen us play our first 2 years, and the way we're playing right now, we are scoring a ton of transition baskets, and that's a lot of fun. I love the pace that we're playing with. And that's the way that, frankly, we want to coach. You know, we want to put a lot of pressure on the defense, and I think a lot of people are taking notice of the way we're playing. All the kids were able to play both games. It was a really fun weekend for us, but you know, as happy as we were about those 2 wins, we're moving on. We got a big one tomorrow, University of Mary, a very good Division II team coming in from the Northern Sun. You know, they lost 2 last weekend, but they played 2 really good opponents at their place. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. You know, we gotta continue to get better at what we're doing. Mary has a young lady who's averaging 25 points a game, and if we don't pay attention to her, it's going to be a long night for us. So we're going to really have to lock in and defend her. But looking forward to the challenge. I know our kids are. They're very excited about the way they played, and they're excited about what we're doing right now. Before I hand it off to Coach Henry, I can see he's staring bullet holes through me right now. Any questions for me? Very good. Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out.
And I am going to hand it off to Coach Henry, but you have one responsibility here. I have to leave early for a meeting, so you have to wrap this up after you're done. Can you handle that? Okay. Welcome up, Hardrocker men's coach Jason.
All right, I'll try to be a little bit quicker than Ryan, which won't be too tough. So. Just a real quick recap on the past weekend. We opened up as well. We did split. We had a tough one the second night. The first night against Johnson Wales went, I guess, as planned. We got to see a lot of our guys play. A lot of them in their first game, a lot of them in their first game in a long time. And then a lot of them that have been with us for a couple years that just really haven't played. And they're now in that role where they're juniors and seniors and getting an opportunity to play more minutes. So we're excited about what we saw. Came in the next night, needed to work on some things. Knew it was a big time transition team. You know, they're averaging 125 points a game, and just got done beating Black Hill State and all these wonderful things that can't speak highly enough about them. And you know, they started out 5 for 5 from the 3-point line, and a lot of it was to do with us, you know, with transition and getting back, and yeah, they had to make the shot still, but we thought we could have done a better job, or should have done a better job of getting back and finding those guys and just talking, not just getting back, but talking. Sure enough, they hit them, and after that, it was uphill climb, you know, the rest of the way. So we started out well on the offensive side. We basically could score anytime we wanted to. Inside, especially with Connor, but Justin started out very well too, and did some good things. But you know, we're trading basically 3 points for 2 points, and it wasn't going very well when we're down 6, 8 points. And guys did a good job, came back a number of different times, got it to 1 right before half, and that's kind of the biggest part for me. Yeah, we can fix the transition stuff, we can fix this, we can fix that, but we got to stay focused, and we got to make sure that we're finishing the halves. And that was one of the things that we just didn't do that first half. we cut it to 1 and have a chance to go up by 2, get another stop, have a chance to go up by 3 or 4, and end up going down by 4 at halftime instead. So, things like that we gotta shore up. We definitely can do it, but it's just a matter of coming ready to go and taking care of business to start with, so we don't get them that confidence in knocking down shots. But other than that, we're moving on too. We got a good team coming in that is 2-0. They went down to Dallas and played a couple games down there in the conference challenge stuff. Ended up winning both of them. Came back for I think a half a day on Monday, and now I think they're in the hills already. They're coming to practice now, so I don't know if they just don't go to school at University of Mary or what the deal is, but either way, they're excited about their basketball team, and we're going to have our hands full. A lot of the same guys back from last year, a lot of juniors and seniors that play a lot of minutes, but we're up for the challenge. Our guys are ready to go. They're pretty disappointed that we didn't get 2 last weekend, but like we told them, we got to learn from it. We got to move on and take care of business, especially that we're at home again on Wednesday. Just real quick before I do get to our guys, and the wonderful picture that Brad took overlooking the city, which is pretty cool, Brad. Good job. Wasn't there. I was out at my daughter's basketball game. I think they're 3-0 right now too, so that's the records we'll go with, I guess, for my coaching. I don't know. But with our coaches, we do have a GA that's been with us now the last couple years, Derek Webb. And he's been doing a great job for us, working with the guys, getting a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff done, with a lot of paperwork and those kind of things. He's got a great opportunity moving forward. Now that he's done with school, and he'll be done with his graduate degree or his master's degree. And we're going to miss him next year, but got a bright future and going to do a lot of great things. Coach Glenn, that's been here 11 years. I've been the head coach here. Obviously, we wouldn't be the team that we've had the last number of years. You talk about guys that, Sherry that works with the posts and that kind of thing, and Coach Glenn works with our posts. When we've had Player of the Year and we've had some of our best players, naturally I guess for being an engineering school, we get some big guys. He comes in and he turns them into great players. So that's one of the things that we've been very proud of is those 2 guys working with our guys and developing them. And Ryan hit it right on the head. You get these freshmen in here and it's almost comical at some point where you're just going, oh my gosh, is this kid ever going to be a player? And keep working. By the time they're juniors and seniors, you're pretty excited. That's what makes our jobs great, and these 2 guys do a super job of that, amongst other things. Okay, this is our teams. Our team for this year, just real quick, going through the different guys. First one, Eric Seabury, did a great job this past weekend. He's one of them I was talking about that didn't get a lot of time these last couple years. We've had some good point guards, done a lot of good things. His decision making has been average at best. This year he's came in and he's really concentrated on that. Does a great job. He's our best defender. He's got quick hands. Just can change the game on the defensive side, and now it's carried over to the offensive side, and he can get some things done there too. So we're excited for him, whether it's in the starting role, coming off the bench. He's fighting for a ton of playing time right now, and he's making us, going to make us a very good team, especially at that point guard spot. Jamal Taylor, you all that saw him play these last couple of weeks, and especially on Friday night, saw what he's capable of doing. Sure enough, he rolls his ankle, and I don't know if it bothered him too much or whatnot, and once adrenaline gets going and things in that second night, he was probably fine, but then he goes 2 for 12 or 3 for 10, whatever it was, and shots that he can knock down. So we expect big things, especially on the offensive side. Coach Glenn was in there today doing film breakdown with each of the individual guys, and that was one of the things that until they see it on film and get to see themselves in the positions that we keep hounding them about, especially on the defensive side, I think that'll really carry over and be good for him because he's got great anticipation. He's very athletic. He moves well. All those things on the defensive side. That as good as he is on offense, and that's definitely why we need him out there. I think he can do some things on the defensive side as well. As soon as he wants to try playing it, as a couple of our people have said, this kid can be pretty good at both ends of the floor. Another senior, Philip Shanelek. Most of you know Philip. He's been in our program now for 5 years. He came here, as we always tell a story with him, he's a Mr. Basketball of the state of North Dakota. Came here, and I didn't know if he'd ever be able to play for us. A big part of that was on the defensive side. who knows? He scores 4,000, 3,000 points in his high school career and all these crazy things on the offensive side. Couldn't guard me or save his life, and that's saying something right now. So it was nice that he came back his first year at semester time and he made that commitment to the defensive side. Keeps getting better. He's one of our strongest guys, super athletic, all those things, a great leader for us. But sure enough, we need a lockdown guy on the defensive side, and he's the one to go to right now. So it's a great honor for him to be able to play both sides of the ball as well as he is right now. Deshaun Jackson's a returning point guard. He played a lot of minutes last year as a true freshman. We were planning on redshirting him last year. Kind of got thrown into the wolves and into the fire and really struggled. I wouldn't say really struggled, but just wasn't the player that we knew he could be to start the year. Got a ton of minutes. By the end of the year, he was a very top-notch, very good point guard for us and even the teams that we were playing, and that's definitely carried over to this year. Now, he's definitely got some competition too, so he's getting better every day in practice with Eric Seabury pushing him, and even Anton and some of those other guys that can play the point. So it's kind of nice to see him grow and to see where he's at and be a leader of our team. Junior Stephen Yellowtail. Stephen wasn't with us last year. He actually so-called took a year off. Worried about his studies, getting after it in the classroom. He's a great student, and I don't know. I gave him crap because sure you don't get a 4.0, now you get mad. Now you got to take off basketball to make sure you get a 4.0 again. So he does it in the classroom. The best part for him is he came in the spring last year. He's a big time energy guy. He's a big time guy that just works his tail off. If you came onto his individual workout, you'd just be amazed. So that's what he brings to our team. He's been hurt now. He sprained his ankle pretty good. He just got out of his boot about a week ago, started practicing. Tried to throw him in for a couple minutes against Johnson and Wales, and just is not moving very well laterally. So it's going to be another couple weeks before he can go, but he definitely brings a different element in the practices. Evan Withrow is another guy we haven't had for 2 years. He's going to have hip surgery again this year. He's our best shooter by far, and I wouldn't say by far, but he's a very good shooter for us and knocked down some shots, but he won't be playing. He's going to be out this year again, and to be honest, I don't know. I was just talking to him the other day, and he's obviously frustrated, been out for 2 years now, and doesn't know if he'll be able to play and that kind of thing moving forward. So we're more worried about his future right now and getting that stuff taken care of. Junior Connor Koulis, I don't know what's going on with his hair. If you guys can let him know that it would be great to trim it up a little bit and that kind of thing. It's about that time again now that I start getting on him to get a haircut. But either way, Connor, if you're averaging a double-double and you get 20 points and 15 rebounds, and one of those guys maybe got to look the other way if he wants to have a little bit of floppy hair and look like Justin Bieber. But whatever the deal is, he's a great player for us. We're excited to have him into our program. We're excited for our fans to have an opportunity to come out and watch a young man like him play. He works his tail off. He's not overly athletic. He's pretty skilled. Like we always say, he plays old man basketball, but he absolutely gets it done. And he's just a tremendous young man to have on and off the floor. And we're looking for big things this year to continue averaging that double-double and hopefully be an all-conference kid for us. Joe Newkirk's finally a guy that hopefully if you guys saw him here this weekend, know what that kid's capable of doing. He came in and redshirted for us. He's 6'9", super athletic post guy, and he can just change a game on both ends of the floor. And he's been hurt these last couple of years, hurt to start the year again, got ran over in South Dakota State. We thought we might have lost him for a year. Got his MRIs, got his things, everything taken care of. Coach McGill, like we've talked about, just doing a great job with our guys as well, and strengthening the core and doing some things with him. And he's almost back to full strength already after 2 weeks ago thinking he wasn't going to be able to even play this year. So we're excited about him, definitely on the defensive side and then just the rebounding side for what we're looking for. And a special young man that's 6'9", like I said, super athletic. Brian Orr has a chance to be another guy, in my mind, an all-conference type player. Whether it's this year, down the road, he's only a sophomore. He played a lot of minutes last year as a freshman, but he can absolutely score the ball. Now, I say that, and he goes 1 for 6 and 1 for 7 from the three-point line. We really could have used his scoring this last game, but not a worry of mine whatsoever. I see him every day in practice. He knocks down those shots that just rattled in and out against, especially presentation, that we needed. You know, we're running sets for him. He's done a much better job. He had limited time last year at times when we get different lineups that we're playing against, and he just had to go out and guard guys that were just more physically stronger than him, or you know, athletic, that kind of thing. And it wasn't really the case. It was just a matter of, okay, there's two ends of the floor, and he's done a much better job now the second half of the year last year than going into this year, just getting ready to guard those guys, because he's a guy that we have to have on the floor on the offensive side, especially against a team like we played with Presentation, where you got to keep scoring with them. I mean, your defense can be as good as, you know, we went back and watched the film and we thought we were all right in the quarter court defense, and we weren't bad at all, you know, but hit some shots, we got to go down and hit some shots, and he's a guy that can definitely do that for us. Wenzel Sterling's another one. We had high expectations for him this year. He redshirted last year. Big, strong guy. Absolutely changed the game on the defensive side. Can score at all three levels. You know, hit shots with guys in his face. All those wonderful things that he can do. And he caught his thumb on a jersey in practice and tore up his thumb on a shooting hand. Is probably out for the year. So, you know, just goofy things like that you go from a guy that's potentially fighting for starting spots to sitting on the bench for the second year in a row, and he's figured things out. You come off that redshirt year, got a lot to, you know, get done, come in now, freshman, ready to go, all excited, and things like that happen. So we'll see what ends up happening with him, and hopefully we can get him back at least for a few games and maybe the second half of the year, but if he has to have surgery, obviously he'll be out for the year. Anton, another one, planning on him playing a lot of minutes. He's been hurt basically since the second day of preseason, and finally came back about a week and a half ago, you know, doing very, very well. Kind of talked about, okay, he can be starting for some starting spot coming in as a recruit, to, okay, we're probably gonna have to redshirt him because he can't even get on the floor right now with the injuries and that kind of thing. And now he's been playing, I think he's had maybe 6, 7, 8 practices, and very, very competitive kid, high energy guy, knocking down shots left and right, and we're very excited about his progress, especially with trying to pick up the things that the guys have to do as a freshman, and he's done a super job of being on the sidelines, just staying focused of what needs to get done, and that's translated into him coming in, only practicing for a few times and actually knowing what the heck's going on. So we're very, very high on him. We're not redshirting this year. In fact, he played this last couple games. I wanted to throw him in there, see what he could do, and he did just fine. Just made a couple, you know, freshman mistakes that will definitely get fixed. Troy Whitetail, another one that you know, he didn't play much again this weekend. Struggled a little bit in the preseason. But last year he had a bunch of injuries and came ready to go this year. He's a guy that can absolutely beat guys off the bounce, get to the rim, and finish. He's super strong. So, you know, we got to get him on the floor, have him have some good practices, and find a way for him to get some minutes, because he's another one that he can get things done on the defensive side, but more importantly, he can just blow by guys and finish and attack the basket. Marco Pascolo, another one that he's a transfer, kid from Italy that you know, we're excited about. He can step out, he can knock down the three, as you guys saw on Friday night. He's the one that, I wouldn't say hurt us on Saturday, but he hurt us because he couldn't play. You know, he pulled his groin on Friday night. He's another one that we needed, you know, like a Brian Orr. You know, you got to keep up with scoring with some teams that just go out and score. And he's a guy that we can put in there. We tried to play him. Yes, I can go. Played a couple minutes, actually knocked down a shot. He had great open looks that he'll knock down, hurt or not hurt. But then on the defensive side, with the teams that we play in these non-conference games, he's got to chase around guys and just wasn't capable of doing that. And it really affected him even on the offensive side too. So only played a few minutes. I doubt that we'll have him now for even the next couple of weeks. If we do play him, it'll probably be playing him tomorrow night for a few minutes and then taking a couple weeks off. When you have a groin injury, it's kind of a nagging thing that we just absolutely can't have the rest of the year for him. And he's a guy that will fight through it. He's a tough kid, and we got to have him healthy. Tyler Schoening's another one we talked about with Eric Seabury. Eric Seabury hasn't played a lot in the last 3 years, and unfortunately for me, and I think we're okay, but you know, he has plantar fasciitis. He's got what Peyton Manning has just gotten called out for, or pulled out, I should say, and not going to play. And same exact thing. Our trainers are going to be busy, as you can see. Sean, thanks for everything, by the way. But Tyler actually had a back injury to start the year. Very excited about him and his progress and the things that he brings. He's a super physical guy, extremely athletic, strong, all those wonderful things. Had high expectations for him. Hurts his back, his shoulders numb, all this fun stuff. Back for about 2 days, 3 days of practice, and then he's got this plantar fasciitis stuff that is just, anybody that's ever had it, including myself, there's just not a lot you can do, and it's very painful and all those things. Came back, practiced for a couple days. I threw him in this weekend for a couple minutes. Marco gets hurt on Saturday, and sure enough, I got to play Tyler, and hopefully we didn't play him, you know, too many minutes. I think he's going to get through it and be fine. But he's another guy that's going to be kind of a difference maker for us going forward. And he still played well. I mean, he goes 4 for 4, got some offensive rebounds, did some things on Saturday night. That was a big deal for having him. Justin Shook, another senior of ours, you know, going to be a captain for us, and just does some great things on and off the court. Started out the games, got 2 big buckets, a big, strong, physical guy. Like I told him, there's going to be some games that you're not going to play a lot of minutes because they don't have a big. You know, when they do have a big in there, he's a guy that we're going to have to go to and make sure that he can defend, rebound, and then, of course, score some points. And then Tristan's a guy that's going to redshirt. He's a kid from Colorado. He's another big. With our bigs that we have right now, we're excited about. He can step out, shoot the 3. You know, doing a lot of good things in practice. But he's like our team looked last year when we had all these freshmen and all these new guys and a bunch of guys with their heads spinning. You know, Tristan's kind of the one guy right now that, including a couple other ones that are freshmen, but especially with him, head just kind of spinning. As soon as things kind of slow down, once again, like Ryan said, get your legs underneath you, get in the weight room, get strong. We're very excited about the things that he can do because he can step out, shoot the ball. He's a guy that is going to be an impact guy for us in the future. And that's it. As far as recruits go and things, we're not planning on signing anybody early this year. We're planning next year to sign a few guys. We have 7 juniors right now. We only are losing 3 guys in the early signing period. So, knock on wood, we're being extremely picky this year, which is fortunate to do that. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the butt a little bit here, but you know, we're excited about our 2017 class. We've offered a few of those guys. We got a couple guys coming in for visits first part of December, which is after the signing period. They're coming from a long ways away. Excited to get them up on campus and just kind of see what happens with our recruiting. But we're kind of holding out and doing some things with some other guys. But then moving forward, we're hopefully next year, we're kind of like Ryan. We'll have 3 or 4 guys in the early signing period and excited about that class as well. So any quick questions before we get on the road here? All right, perfect. Wednesday, tomorrow, I guess, 5:30, 7:30 for those games, and 2 very good teams out of the Northern Sun, and it's going to be great basketball, and we'll definitely be holding our own right around. Joel, did you have anything to?
I do not.
Okay, we'll
Thank
see.
you.
Nothing next week, right, for in here? Is that the email I said? Okay, nothing next week, so we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.